Okay, so this is going to be a brief video lesson. We're going to be doing a little bit of rounding review. Okay, so on this slide we have some rules and reminders for rounding. It says here, if the first number dropped is less than 5, the last number is kept. The one before the drop digit should be left alone. So let's look at this example. It says 3.7413 rounded to 3 digits. So when we use the term digits, that means in the end, there's only going to be 3 numbers total, regardless of the decimal place. So we're going to round this to 3 digits. So that means that we don't want to have anything past here. Okay, so we're going to have 3.7 something depending on our rounding rules. So again, it says, if the first number dropped is less than 5, the last number is kept. So because we only want to have 3 digits, the first number dropped is going to be this 1 here. The 1 is less than 5, and it says if the number dropped is less than 5, the last number is kept. So the number 1 is the number that's going to be dropped, and it's less than 5. So that means the number before it, so this 4 here, that is going to be kept the same in this situation. So that's why we have an answer here of 3.74. We have 3 digits total, okay? And that 1 there was less than 5, so the 4 stayed the same. This next example here says, if the first digit discarded is greater than 5, the last digit kept is increased by 1. So this example says 2.2217 rounded to 4 digits. So remember, 4 digits, meaning 4 numbers total, regardless of the decimal place. So we need to get to that number that's going to be discarded. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put a little line here. Okay, and again, that's to show that we need to look to the 7 to see what we're going to do with the 1. So we want 4 digits total, which means the 7 is going to be the discarded number. This 7 is greater than 5, so because the 7 is greater than 5, the last digit kept, which is the 1, is going to be increased by 1. Okay, so because the 7, the discarded number, is greater than 5, the number prior, the last digit kept, which in this case is the 1 here, that's going to be increased by 1. So that's why we have a final answer of 2.222. So now we have some extra practice examples here. So it says round the following numbers to 2 decimal places. What does that mean? 2 numbers after the decimal. So in the previous slide, we saw it asking for a certain number of digits. Now we're asking for a certain number of decimal places. So 2 decimal places means 2 numbers after the decimal. Okay, so in this case, we have an example that says 27.57632. So we know we only want 2 digits after the decimal place. Okay, so that means that we're going to be dropping the 632. So we're going to be looking at this 6 to see whether or not we're going to increase the 7 to 8 or if we're going to keep the 7 the same. So in this case, we're looking to the 6. It's greater than 5, which means we're going to increase this 7 by 1. So our answer should be 27.58. This next example says 7.2936523. We still want to round to 2 decimal places, which means we only want 2 numbers after the decimal place. So again, I'm just going to put this little line here to show that we want to stop and discard the 36523. So we're going to look to that last number here, the number that we're going to discard. Okay, we're going to look to that 3 to see whether or not we're going to increase the 9 by 1 or if we're going to keep it the same. So in this case, our discarded number, the 3, is less than 5, which means the 9 is going to stay the same. Okay, just fix that. Okay, the 9 is going to stay the same. So our answer will be 7.29. Now down here it says round the following numbers to one decimal place. That means one number after the decimal. So again, it's not saying digits, it's telling a specific number of decimal places. We only want one place after the decimal, one number after the decimal. So again, I'm going to put this little line here, and we know we're going to discard this whole piece, 6415, but we need to look to that 6 there to determine what we're going to do with the 2. Are we going to keep it the same, or are we going to increase it by 1? So because the 6, the first discarded number, is greater than 5, that is going to increase the 2 by 1. Okay, so a little arrow. Oops, just fix that. Okay, so that 6 there is going to increase the 2 to a 3 for an answer of 255.3. And then lastly, we have this example 6.7154891. Again, we only want one decimal place. This was 2. One decimal place. So that means we only want one number after the decimal. So I'm just going to, again, put that little line there because we're going to discard this whole piece, 154891. The first discarded number here is the 1. Okay, so it's the 1 there. Because that 1 is less than 5, it's going to keep the 7 the same. Okay, so because that 1 there, we're looking to that number to see what happens to the 7. It's less than 5. Oops. Sorry. Put it back on the pen. Okay, so that 1 is back here. And because that 1 is less than 5, it's going to keep the 7 the same for an answer of 6.7. Okay, that's that. Rounding practice, rounding review.